Hello, everyone, once again. This is Rob, and welcome back to Media Awareness and a review this time. However, before I get to that, do want to remind you all that the fundraiser continues. For those of you unaware, I am a disabled individual, and I use a motorized wheelchair slash scooter all day, every day for my independence, and I need your help. My insurance will not cover anything with regard to my scooter, as they view it as a quote luxury item, end quote. Therefore, I'm reaching out to you, my YouTube community, for your help. There is a spot fund account linked below. You'll find it in two places, and it's easy to contribute, and any and all donations are welcome. It all adds up over time, and believe me, it's really helping me with my scooter and with my life as far as keeping my scooter in working order, maintaining my independence as a result. Without my scooter slash wheelchair, I am a fish out of water. I am unable to use a standard wheelchair due to manual dexterity issues. I can only use one hand specifically, and I am also unable to use any other type of scooters. So the one I'm using is what you have to maintain, and therefore it needs to last. And with that being stated, I am in the process of replacing parts as I can get them, and your support is welcome and is definitely helping with that. I do want to extend a gracious thanks to those who have contributed, as your contributions have made a world of difference in my life, and the same goes to those who plan on contributing, as believe me, your contributions will equally make a incredible difference in my everyday life. I love you all. Thank you all for watching this video and clicking on this. Now on with the review. So I'm going to try and keep this review as brief as possible. However, with that being stated, it will contain spoilers, which is obvious. So this is Doctor Who: The Star Beast, the first of three specials marking the 60th celebration, 60 years of Doctor Who, which is still really hard to believe. And we see the Doctor reuniting with Donna Noble, who is a previous companion of the Doctor, and who is really not supposed to remember him. Otherwise, she will die, basically. And he ends up bumping into her quite literally as she's uh, shopping with her daughter named Rose. And he ends up witnessing a spaceship crashing along with her daughter. Meanwhile, Donna is oblivious to this. She is focusing on picking up the presents that are on the ground and piling them and just ignoring everything that's going on that is otherworldly, which is part of, I think, the conditioning of her not supposed to not being able to remember that the Doctor exists. It's sort of all just a way of avoidance, so to speak, from a psychological perspective. And inevitably, Donna's daughter Rose ends up taking in this one alien creature that had jettisoned from this ship in the escape pod, and it's calls itself Meep, and it is adorable. It is the most adorable looking thing I've ever seen, and she's attempting to hide it from her mother, um, completely unaware of her mother's past with the doctor as well. But she's hiding amongst these creatures like little toys that she makes to sell online. And they, when you look at them initially, I didn't pick up on this, but it's mentioned later on, and it's referenced later on. They are all representations of different creatures that Donna and the Doctor had encountered on their adventures together, which I think is amazing. But that's a side note. I'll get to that. So there's this whole interaction. Unit is involved, and um, they, the Doctor and Donna's family, end up having to flee Donna's house, and they end up driving to a parking garage where the Doctor and the Meep um, get out of the car, and he announces this sort of court hearing, um, given his stature as a Time Lord, and the fact that he is able to do this. Um, and he brings the Meep face to face with these really vintage looking creatures that are um, in pursuit of the Meep. And I do not know their name, but that's okay. They look amazing. I love the design. It's very retro, and I don't recall if they're past uh, encounters or not. I don't believe they are. I think they're brand new, but they look really vintage, which I really appreciate. Along with the spaceship as well. It has a really sort of classic 1960s look to it, 1960s, 1970s look to it. Um, I digress. When they are confronted face to face during this little hearing that the Doctor's holding, the Meep is exposed as being this genocidal creature that is responsible for all of these countless deaths. And the look on its adorable little face becomes maniacally evil. And it just. The whole thing turns at that point, the plot wise, and the Doctor and Donna's family are accosted by the unit soldiers who have been basically brainwashed by this entity that was in the Meep's spaceship, um, presumably. And they, in the midst of this, the Donna actually calls the doctor, and uh, but she doesn't even think about it really. And then when her and her family are separated, and she's on the doctor's side of this gate, she basically uh, says that she's going with him, and she goes with the doctor, and he starts telling her what to do because he's trying to stop the ship from taking off, and it's not working. And in the midst of all this, he starts saying these phrases which trigger Donna's memory. And you see this regeneration effect, essentially, that Donna has go on. And when she snaps back into it, first she starts complaining about having given away all this money that she had as a result of a uh, winning from a lottery. So at that point, after she is done rambling at the doctor and time is ticking, and this creature is getting ready to take off by using the energy of the earth itself, burrowing its engines into the earth and using it as a power source. Uh, the Dr. Donna, I should say, remembers everything and just kicks back into her intellectual mode and just helps him to shut everything down. And the Meep is then put into custody initially. Donna and her daughter both end up being able to recall everything. And it then clicks that the energy that Donna was storing was too much for her, but she shared it with her daughter, so it all balanced out. And that's how her daughter was making these stuffed animals to sell online, which were all representatives of the alien creatures that Donna and the doctor encountered together in their travels. So it all makes sense in a roundabout way at the end. And they head back to the doctor's TARDIS, and uh, Donna's family, of course, her mother specifically, doesn't really want them to go anywhere together because she knows what happened the last time Donna went with the doctor. And inevitably, they end up going inside the TARDIS, and the TARDIS interior has changed. And it looks very classic, and I love the look. It's classic but new. It says that really that white aesthetic, and the console's very retro looking. It's really a pleasure to see this, and they're he's excited because the whole thing's different and it's all new but yet classic, and Donna's amazed at how it all looks, and something starts happening with the TARDIS, and it starts phasing out of its existence on Earth, and they can't stop what's happening, and it just vanishes. And the special ends with the console actually in flames, um, which I'm presuming is going to put itself out. But the TARDIS just starts going somewhere, and we don't know where. We'll find out next week, though. So it was a really good special, and I really have to applaud Russell T Davies for um, sort of bringing Doctor Who back in a proper way. And what I mean by that is, and no disrespect to Stephen Moffat, but the Moffat years, as I'll call them, is really where I kind of checked out at one point. It was the stories were getting um, just not too out there, but a lot of them just weren't written well for me as a writer myself, and I didn't feel that they were representative of Doctor Who as a franchise. It really just did not do it for me, and I watched countless Peter Capaldi episodes and Jodie Whittaker, and it just wasn't the same. Um, and I do realize that Doctor Who's ever changing, and that's been the case from day one, but not to such an extent. And of course, these three specials that we're getting are leading up to the next Doctor, and um, I'm looking forward to seeing his entry into the series. But for right now, we still have two more specials to look forward to next week and the week after that. I will be reviewing them as I watch them, and I will be presenting it for you as a viewer. And I hope that you enjoyed this uh, overview, really brief review. I didn't want to spoil too much. I wanted to touch on a lot of things, and I did a few takes of this just to kind of try and cut down on the amount of information I was sharing. But I do like the design elements in this particular episode. The design of the alien ship, really retro. The design of the interior is very retro, in fact, as well. And then the design of the newly redesigned TARDIS console room, just looking very classic in its nature, and in that it looks very classy as well. Um, there's nothing about this episode that I did not like. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a great plot twist having the adorable creature not be so adorable after all, and be more maniacally evil than we've seen anything be in quite a long time. So that was an interesting plot twist I was not expecting. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next Saturday now. And the next episode of Doctor Who, which, is, it's exciting. Like I said, 60 years. And here we are. um, if you would be so kind, please consider subscribing to my channel and becoming part of my YouTube family. I'd love to have you. Also, like and share if you do like and share. I do cover mainly music and sometimes film, sometimes TV, as this is, or streaming, I should say. I don't really know what to call this anymore because TV is an obsolete format. So, streaming, if you will. And um, literature I cover as well. And my channel is very diverse in nature, but I do reactions, I do lots of things. So please keep all that in mind and give a look at my other videos if you would be so kind as to do so, and make a decision as to whether or not you want to subscribe to me or not. Also, please comment below with your thoughts on this special. What were your thoughts? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Do you feel that it's a good kickoff for the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who or not? And are you a Doctor Who fan? Have you been a ongoing Doctor Who fan? Let me know your Doctor Who story in the comments or in a Facebook message. My Facebook link is in the description, as is my email. Either or is fine. Feel free to reach out. I'd love to hear from you. This is Rob with Media Awareness, and I hope you all have a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are. Take care. Bye.